Y'all, welcome back to the Bunny Barn. Okay, so right off the bat, we are going to start off with primer. I'm just showing you how to use it. You only need a drop for each eye, and we're just going to pat it in and then maybe swipe it a little bit. So that's all you have to do. A lot of you guys tend to like put a lot. Like when I mean a lot, I mean like a glop. So no need for that. You can even put a little bit underneath the eye as well, all the way to the brow bone or to your eyebrows. That way your pomade or whatever you use for your brows could stick. And you're just seeing me that I'm starting off with a little bit of primer, and I'm concentrating more on the T-zone, and I just pat it in, and then you will sometimes see me just like rub it in. If you don't like using your hands at all to apply primer, you will see me pick up a foundation brush and you'll see me just tip it in into the primer, and then I'm just pressing it in. That's all I'm doing, just pressing it in. Sorry if you hear me cough, but I am going to say you are going to see me forget to use a contour brush. So sorry if I forgot to show you guys how to contour. Anyways, so I am going in with a white eyeshadow that was not in that Smashbox palette, and you're just seeing me pat, okay? I'm just patting in the color. You see? You pat it in like that. Do not be rough. Don't be rough like that. Yeah, you see that? Don't fucking do that, okay? Just pat, pat, pat. Don't swipe like that either. Don't do that. Pat, pat, pat. You will ruin the brush if you do the stuff that I just told you not to do. So anyways, you just pat it on your lid. Pat, 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 pat. That's all you gotta do is just pat it on the lid and maybe do a little window wiping motion, or as I like to call it, just swiping only, because it looks like you're almost swiping a broom. You see? Looks like you're swiping a broom, like you're doing some cleaning. But yeah, just pat, 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 pat. That's all you gotta do, okay? It's just pat, 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 okay? Don't fucking tear your eyelid off, because sometimes I'll be seeing girls do that. I'm sorry if I'm cussing. I'm trying not to cuss in these kind of, at least not in these kind of tutorials, but sometimes it just irks me. But I am just trying to help you. Anyways, we're now going with the second lightest shade of color. Technically, it's the second lightest shade of color. By the way, this palette did not come with eyeshadow names, so I am so sorry. But you're seeing me patting, and then you can also see that I'm using the tip of the brush kind of to do like a blending motion. I am also swiping. If anything, you guys, get a clean brush one day and just have your lids bare and just practice those motions. Practice those swipings, practice the pattings, and now you're going to see me with a fluffy brush, because we all love fluffy brushes. And I'm going to dip into that taupey color. They all look kind of like taupey colors, I know. You're going to see me just use the side of that fluffy brush and just pat, 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 pat. You don't do circular motions like that. No. No. You see how it's flying off? You see how you're going to ruin your eyeshadows too? You're not only going to ruin your brush, you're going to ruin your eyeshadows. Don't do that. So anyways, tap off any excess, because it is going to get heavy, and you're going to see how I'm going to mess up my eye. I was going to try to do like a natural look. So yeah, and then if you need to use your pinky for balance, you could do that. And always start off where you want the most color at. So, because right when you first apply the eyeshadow, that's where the most color is going to be at. So I always like to start off at the edge. Some people like to start in the center and just continue to blend on from there, but this color did came out very, very dark, as you saw how I was like beating the shit out of the eyeshadow, so I could teach you not to do, so I was trying to teach you not to do that. So yeah, you will see me eventually correct all that, so don't you worry. It's a good thing I am doing these mistakes, so we could learn together how to correct that. And you're seeing me that I did a circle motion like that. That is what you're going to be doing to the crease of your lid. Circle, circle, so circle, swipe, swipe, swipe. Circle, 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 swipe, swipe, swipe. So that's all you're doing. And then I'm bringing some in, swiping that in. You're seeing that the other side is coming out much more better. That's how it was supposed to be. Sorry about the cough. Anyway, swipe, 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 circle, 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 swipe, 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 circle, circle, circle. That's all you gotta do. And just practice that at home. We're back to the flat brush. We're going in with a white eyeshadow. I just did not show you. Sorry. But just going in with the white eyeshadow, putting some of that on top of the brow bone, and I'm bringing it in. I'm swiping it. I'm not really like tapping it on the brow bone that much is because I don't really care if the color is very intense. Where I do like to tap a lot is on the eyelid because you are trying to press the color onto the lid. Right now I'm just doing blending motions just because I want to try to soften the crease area as much as I can. Now we're getting another fluffy clean brush and I'm going back with the white brush. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Tap, 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 tap. Then we're just going to blend it, circle motions, or window wiping motions. Some people just like to do circles only, or swiping motions. So it doesn't really matter. It's all up to you. I work well with both. As you can see, I'm trying to really blend the edge of that. And you're going to see what I'll do in a few minutes on what I have to do. But I'm just really blending out the, what's it called, the edge of it. So I'm just swipe, 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 swipe. I might add just a little bit more dimension on the side over there with that taupey color. Back again, blending out the sharpness. And then I went in with a lighter color. I think I went in with white. And I'm just tapping that in on the center because that's where I really want to intensify it a little bit. And you're going to see me do the same thing right there. And as you can see, it worked. You see how it's a lot less intense, and I'm going in with that color. Remember, concentrating on the side, and we're going in with the pencil brush. Literally, this is like drawing. Kind of think like you're drawing and just drag it down. That's all you gotta do is just keep dragging it down. It's kind of like you're sketching a little bit. So that's like the best way I could like, explain it to you. Almost rubbing motions. It feels like you're rubbing, so you're just coming on down. You're concentrating all the heavy, when you first apply it, you want to concentrate it on the edge because that's where you want more color off. And then you're going to see me do like kind of like a smudgy liner effect, except I didn't apply regular liner. But I should have gone in with a different brush because this e.l.f. one is too stiff, and you're going to see how I left some ridges in a minute. And you will see me change. Instead of using a pencil brush, you're going to see me use a smudger brush. But really, that's all you're doing. It's just like the same thing down how I told you. You're just going to be smudging it on the top, and you're just going to be like, it's like you're drawing. It's just like you're rubbing it in, but don't be too harsh or anything. See, now you're seeing me change the smudger. But yeah, you're just seeing me like I'm just even it out and making sure it's not too harsh, and then you're seeing me come adding more with the smudger brush. That one actually worked out better. But it's just like you're dragging, rubbing, smudging, whatever you want to call it, but whatever helps you, to understand. So you're just kind of seeing me, and I'm trying to get into the lash line as much as I can. Then you're seeing me go in with it's not a white eyeshadow. It was one of the cooler tones. The very skin-like tones inside the Smashbox palette. Because I really didn't really want the liner too much, like too smudged out, because I was, I'm not doing anything today, so I was just trying to do a look for the purpose of how to use brushes. And we're gonna use an angle brush now, people. And I forgot to show you yesterday in the brushes that you kind of need a spoolie or one of those brushes that look like a comb, like where it has like the brush kind and then like the metal kind. I'm just brushing out my brows. This is not an eyebrow tutorial, so I'm not going to tell you like in detail what I'm doing. In fact, I didn't even do much to my eyebrows, to tell you the truth. I'm just filling them in. Why I like angle brushes is because especially those fine ones, is because it gets into the hair. You really want to get into the hair a lot. Plus, if you're those type of people who like to draw on the chola brows, you could use that for that too as well. But a lot of the chola brows are mostly done with pencils, like an eyeliner pencil, or what's it called, a Sharpie. But yeah, that's if you want to do the chola brow. But I don't do chola brows, people. But you're just seeing me that I'm just looking for mostly for the hairs. That's it. And if I want to fake on hair, you see where I don't have no hair down there, I'm just adding it with the line, just like a straight line. or an angle line, I mean. Now moving on to foundation. As you can see, I have a Real Technique brush, a sponge. And I'm just showing you all the options right now. And now you're going to see me add in some foundation. This is a stippling brush. This is how you stipple it. You people do it wrong. You stipple. You see? You stipple. And the reason for that is to do for like an HD effect. It's very good for HD effects to make it look very skin-like. I love stippling brushes. But if you have dry skin, you're going to hate this brush because it will push in the foundation into the into the dryness of the patch and underneath, and you will look very, very caked up. I believe it's called micro disfoliation. I don't know. But anyways, I forgot the name of it. But I am just stippling. That's all I'm doing. If you do want to do like circle motions like that, is mainly because like I'm coming to an end of the foundation and I am blending it out. Just going to add in a little bit more foundation. And then I'm going to show you with a Real Technique sponge or just any sponge. I just bounce it. It's already been soaked and drained and everything. So yeah, I just bounce it off. You can use that if you want, but I mostly use that for like underneath the jaw. I really don't use it for like the rest of the face. But yeah, you could lightly pounce it, or if you want a very heavy look, which I did not like using this technique, but I only did it to show you, you need to really press it in. And I mean really press it in. But I mean, I should have just like spread it out more, the foundation. But regardless, I don't like putting that much foundation on my forehead because that is the less problem area. But you gotta really press it in if you want a full coverage, to that skin. So as you can see, I'm like really, really, really like beating the fuck out of my forehead. And then I'm adding more foundation. And then we're going with a kabuki brush. If you have dry skin, you could definitely use this brush. I am just pressing it in, and this is definitely giving me a full coverage. definitely giving me a full coverage. And eventually I'm just going to end up using that whole brush all around my face just to even it out. And I just tap it in. Tap, 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 tap. That's it. And if you need to blend out, you'll blend out. You sweep it out. That's fine. But I am just showing you the difference. But yeah, whatever you like is up to you. Adding more to the face, to the nose, I mean. Just pat, 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 pat. Now we're using concealer brushes. We're going to try out this dome one. Then I'm going to show you with something like this. There's another one. And then for the dome ones, I just do circle motions, to tell you the truth. Because you don't really want to be heavy on the concealer. Because if you add too much concealer, then it adds more to whatever fine lines you have, or it just looks like a caked up mess, and you don't want to do that. I either pat or I just do a swiping motion. And I just always end up going back on my fingers. That's just me. If you guys don't like to do that, you don't have to. Then you're going to see me use that more of like a flat detail brush, as I like to call them. And you see me just patting it on, and then you can also pat it on problem areas. Not that you couldn't do it with the other brush, but And then I'm just sweeping down. These flat ones are more precise, so if you need to do like, a good clean crisp cleaning with the tip, that works for it. To show you guys how to contour with powder contour brushes and stuff like that. So I am sorry, but to tell you the truth, I don't really contour that much, and I'm just going in with a sponge just to blend everything all in together. But I do have other videos on how I show you the contour with a powder brush. But yes, I am just dipping in that concealer brush that you saw earlier, and I am doing circle motions to apply this on. Just circle motions. You could draw on the lines first, and then just circle up. Make sure you're doing your circles upwards and not downwards, because that will age you really, really badly or make you look very sick. And then for the nose, you could just draw it on just like that. That's fine. And then just blend it out. Circle motions. I mean, the only reason why I'm half-assing this part for you guys is because, like I said, I have a whole tutorial on how to contour and highlight, so that's why it's just like I'm kind of half-assing it. But really, most of the times when I do contour on clients, I tend to always use a sponge, but not the beauty ones, not these beauty blenders. I just use a regular sponge because I like the angles of them so much more better. And here you're seeing me draw on a jaw, because some of you don't have jaws and you want to know how to draw on a jaw. And it's very simple. Just draw it on. And then you're seeing me blending it out with the flat part of the beauty blender. And you're going to see me drag it down to my neck. Just adding last touch-ups. Then you're going to see me use a powder brush, ladies and gentlemen. You want to use one that's flat, just like that one, okay? Not the ones that are spread out like a hooker legs. You need to use a flat one. And then you're just tapping it in there, just like that. Just like that. Don't do that. Don't be spraying them like a hooker's legs. No, 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 no. You want to do it like that. And then you're going to pat it in. You see how I'm doing a twisting motion with the handle? That is how you apply with a powder brush. Okay? Okay? Not like that, because you are going to take off some of your foundation. Like that. Tap, 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 pat, 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 pat. That's all you're doing. Then we're going to use this little puffer thingy. I forgot what it's called. Oh, a powder puff. There we go. This is really good for oily skin girls. You just dump in a little bit of loose powder like that, rub it in together, and then you're going to dust, kind of pat off some of it. And then you're seeing me use my middle finger, and I'm kind of just like twisting it in there. And you can tap it into a compact if you want. And then you're going to see me press. Now, the problem with that is that sometimes it leaves excess powder like that. And you're going to see how I get rid of it in a minute. But yeah, you're just doing these rolling motions with your middle finger to really press in that powder. Because if you're oily, you really need this technique. Then you're going to see me sweep off the freaking powder with the brush. You do that after you set your makeup with the powder, not before or during, after. That is how you do it. Yes. You see? And then I'm just using that angle contour brush just to powder a little bit on my under eyes, because I feel like the big ones don't reach. And then I swipe it off. Now we're going in with the dual fiber blush brush. Just tap, tap. Don't do that. Tap, tap. And then I'm just sweeping down. I am about to show you guys. I should have just saved it in another video, but I couldn't. But a lot of you people have the habit of smiling when you apply blush. Don't do that, and you're going to see why. I'm just starting off very lightly with this one. If you have light skin tone, that's a good way to just start off lightly and use dual fibers, especially your heavy-handed. Now, this is why you don't smile. You guys like to concentrate on the apples of the cheeks. This will aid you. You see how all of it, the really, really dark part right there is in the way bottom? Do not do that. Okay? It makes it look like you're very 80s and outdated. See how that one's more blended out than that one? Now, to fix that though, you could go in with one of those circular cotton rounds and just remove. That's it. Yeah, but that's like a really old theater trick to age a person. It's just we make them smile, and then I'm just going over with some powder just to lighten it up. But we make them smile, and then they go, oh, what's it called? Then you see like a lot of the pigmentations is more on the bottom, and that's just to age a person. But anyways, just adding just a little bit more. But then you're going to see me add a little bit more powder to reduce that blush. Now, I'm showing you a fan brush. Look, fan brushes are useless, okay? They're just fucking useless. They're really good for highlighters. Pretend that's a highlighter, and then you just dab it on or fan it on. That's it, okay? They're kind of useless. I don't fucking like them. I really don't. You can use them for contouring too, but they're not that great. So then you're not going to see me put on mascara or any of that because that doesn't really count. But yeah, that is it. I have more makeup videos for you guys if you guys want to check them out if I miss anything. But thanks for watching.